that you can see the boards. To see that you're getting ready. This is also a silent time because we are getting our stuff out. We shouldn't have any talking. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. Yes?
Who's the other teacher assistant? I know Drew is one of them. Malik.
Malik. I'm going to need you to turn your chair around so that you can see. Great job, Nyana. You turned your chair around. You're ready to go. So is Miss On. Okay. So before we start math, Miss Trieger showed me something really cool Friday after school, and I wanted to share it with you. And that is, we took a house and we turned it in a great way for you guys to line up your numbers. So as you can see, there's a hundreds, there's a tens, and there's a ones. Here, let me put it this way. There we go. And what you can do is you can write your numbers right underneath those small boxes. So your ones go in the ones place, your tens in the tens, and the hundreds. And down here is the basement. Up here is the attic. So when we regroup, we put our tens and our hundreds in the attic, and we put the ones, the tens, the hundreds down here. So I'm going to use it for the very first question, which is our solve and share, and I'll go ahead and read it out loud. Suppose a bus travels 276 miles on Monday and 248 miles on Tuesday. How many miles does the bus travel? Solve this problem any way you choose. Yes, Casey? Awesome, let me see it. Let me see it on your whiteboards. If you guys can get your whiteboards out and solve this problem. Suppose a bus travels 276 miles on Monday and 248 miles on Tuesday. How many miles does the bus travel? to share what they found? Caroline? 524. Okay, well let's check. So 8 plus 6. Who can tell me what 8 plus 6 is? Nyana? 14. So I'm going to put the 14 to the side. And what am I going to do with the 4?
Put it in the one's place.
Correct. I'm going to put it in the basement. What am I going to do with the 1? Yes, Asher?
Put it in the attic.
Put it in the attic, right on the tens or hundreds? Tens or hundreds?
Tens.
Good job. Awesome. All right. 7 plus 4 plus 1 more. Yes. 12. 12 to the side. Put the 2 in the basement. And then what do I do with that 100? Where do I put that? Yes.
Put it in the 100 place.
So now I have 200 plus 200 plus 100. Casey?
So 2 plus 2 is 4.
Awesome job. 524. Great job. All right, I'm going to have you guys turn to page 400. Oh, I'm going to get the visualizer. Oh,
How can you use addition to solve problems? Think about this question during the lesson. Jason's family drove from Niagara Falls to Albany. They drove 119 miles in the morning and 187 miles in the afternoon. How far did Jason's family drive? How do you know what numbers to use to solve the problem?
all right, so how do we know how to solve this problem? What numbers are we going to be looking at? Sylvia?
We're going to be looking at, first of all, we're going to be circling 276 and 280.
No, let's look up here. You were looking at the solving chair. What 2 numbers are we going to use? Yes, Annabelle? Awesome job. And I love that you put miles at the end because that's what we're looking for.
The distances that Jason's family drove are shown on the map. Find 119 plus 187. Before finding the exact miles, estimate by rounding to the nearest hundred.
An estimate can help you check whether or not your answer is reasonable.
Which equation gives this estimate?
Select your answer.
Okay, let's look up here. It wants us to estimate by rounding to the nearest 100. Which equation gives this estimate? We have 2 choices. We have 100 plus 100 equals 200, or we have 100 plus 200 equals 300. Give me a thumbs up if you think it's 100 plus 100 equals 200, or a thumbs down for 100 plus 200 equals 300. We have a lot of thumbs down for 100 plus 200 equals 300. Who can tell me why they chose that one? Ava?
Because I know that 187 miles rounded to the nearest 100 is 200 because the 8 is a strong number, right? And then 119 miles is
Awesome job.
100 plus 200 equals 300. So 119 plus 187 is about 300 miles. Is there another way to estimate the sum?
Is there another way?
Yes. You can round each addend to the nearest 10. 120 plus 190 equals 310. Now find the exact sum. Step 1. Add the ones. 9 ones plus 7 ones equals 16 ones. Regroup. 16 ones are equal to 110, 6 ones. When you regroup, you name a whole number in a different way. Step 2. Add the tens. 110 plus 110 plus 8 tens equals 10 tens. Regroup. 10 tens are equal to 100 0 tens. Why did you regroup both the ones and the tens?
Why do we regroup the ones and the tens? Yes, Noah?
Because if you don't, you might make 1,000.
Okay. Does anyone have something else? Annabelle?
So we can show our
Yep. Because this is the one spot, this is the tens, this is the hundreds. So our 6 is 6 ones, but the answer is 16. So we need to put our 10 in with the tens. Great job, guys.
There are more than 9 ones and more than 9 tens. What do the 2 small ones above 119 represent?
Let's start with this first one. What does that represent? Sylvia?
So 2 plus 8. Wait.
We're going to look at this one right here.
2 plus 8 equals 10.
Okay, but what does this 1 represent?
It represents another 10 in the tens.
It's the 10 from the 16. That's right. So we take the 1 and we place it in the 10 spot, and that 1 becomes not a 1, it becomes a 10. Great job.
The ones show the regrouped 10 and the regrouped 100. Step 3. Add the hundreds. 100 plus 100 plus 100 equals 300. Jason's family drove 306 miles. The answer is reasonable since 306 is close to 300. Now you know how to use addition to solve problems.
Okay, I would like you guys to turn to page 483. It says on number 1, Sue scored 236 points during the first half of her basketball season. She scored 285 points during the second half. How many points did she score during the entire season? So before I start this problem, I want you guys to do 2 things. 1, I want you guys to read it silently again in your head, because the more we read the problem, the more we're going to understand the problem. All right, and the second thing I want you to do is find the important information. And word problems, they kind kind of sometimes try to trick you. So you really want to look and make sure that you are circling the numbers that you are going to need. So what are two numbers that I'm going to need to circle? Malik? 236. Good job. Awesome. 285. Now I'm going to look at that very last sentence. How many points did she score during the entire season? And I am going to circle, I'm actually going to underline how many points. And I put points in there because that's what we're looking for. So when we do word problems, I always want to make sure that our data is accurate, and so our answer should end with points. So now that I have it circled, I have it underlined, I'm ready to start the problem. So I'm going to put my plus sign off to the side. So to start this problem, I'm going to look in the ones, and I'm going to add my ones first. Who can tell me what 6 plus 5 is? Yes, Caitlin. 11. So I'm going to write that to the side. What am I going to do to that 11, Caitlin? Okay. What do I do with the second one? Good job. So that 1 from 11 that went to the 10s, that is a 10. So it's going to be 10 plus 30 plus 80. Who can tell me what that's going to equal? Yes. 12. And so where am I going to put the 2 that is in 12? The 2 ones. I mean, and then the 1. Great. And so my last step is the hundredths. Who can tell me what 100 plus 200 plus 200 equals? Sylvia?
So I learned that 200 plus 1 is 4, but 2 equals 6. So 6.
So let's look again. We have 2 2s. We only have 2 2s. So what's 200 plus 200?
4.
Yep. And then we add another 1, which would be 5. So that would be 500. 521. Now I'm also going to write down below is 521 points. Now I want you guys to look at number 3. And we're going to read the directions because the directions are a little bit different. It says in questions 3 through 6, estimate by rounding to the nearest 10. Then find each sum. You may use place value blocks or drawings to help. So I'm going to look again at the directions because that's going to tell me what I need to do. There is 2 parts to this question. Who can tell me the first part? It says in questions 3 to 6, estimate by rounding to the nearest 10, then find each sum. Yes, Annabelle.
Estimate them to the nearest 10.
Awesome. Anytime anytime I have directions, I'm going to do the same thing I would do with a word problem. And I am going to underline, estimate, rounding, and to 10, to the nearest 10. Then I do what? What is my second step?
Then find the sum of the answers.
Yes. Then find the sum. I'm going to circle that one. So how many answers should we get for number 3? 1 answer or 2? Let's use our fingers. 1 or 2. Who thinks 1? Who thinks 2? That's correct. There should be 2 answers. So I'm going to take 126 and I'm going to look. So what would 126 round to for the nearest 10? I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. Yes. 130. And how did you know that?
Because 6 is strong.
Because 6 is strong. So what does that do to the 2? It changes the 2 into a 3. Great job. Now let's look at 171. What does that round to? We're looking at the nearest 10. I see a lot of you drawing on your whiteboards and it's making me a little sad. So remember that this is math and we are using our whiteboards for math. Yes. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Let me do that like this. Oh, push it down. Oh. Okay, thank you. Noah,
170.
170. And how did you know that?
Because 1 is a weak number.
That. And when there's a weak number, what happens?
It uses up all its might and turns to 0.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. So, we need to find the sum of what we just rounded. So 130 plus 170. And I'm going to use my chart. I'm going to start with my ones. 0 plus 0 is, let's all say that one together. 0. That's right. 7 plus 3. Gabe?
10.
Okay. And I'm going to carry my 1. And now we need to add the hundreds. Who can tell me what 100 plus 100 plus 100 is? Yes, Kennedy. 300. Great job. So the reason why it's good to estimate your answer so that when you solve, you know if you have a reasonable answer. If it's close to 300, you know that your answer is probably correct. So now we need to do 126 plus 171. I would like you guys to do this one on your own, and then we'll go over it together.
Oh, what's the one?
126 plus 171.
Done.
I shouldn't hear talking right now.
You got it.
Awesome. I'm going to give you guys one more minute. Okay. Diana, please. No, thank you. This is a learning time. Okay. Who would like to tell me what they got for their sum? Nyana? 297. So I'm going to do. Let me see. Nyana, do you want to come up and show us how you got to that answer? No? Would someone like to come to the board? Oh, lots of you. Okay. All right, Ava. Number 3. So we've already done the estimating, so all you would have to do is your answer. Can you explain as you go? And you got 297. Awesome job. Great job, guys. We're going to look at number 4. And again, what are we rounding to? Who can tell me what we're rounding to? I should see a lot more hands. All right. Casey.
We're rounding to near.
The nearest 10, that's right. Okay, so 538. I'm going to underline my 3. And I'm going to look at my 8. Is 8 a strong number or is it a weak number?
Strong.
Strong. Great job. So what does that mean? If it's a strong number, what happens to that 3? Kennedy?
Changes to a 4.
It changes to a 4. And then what happens to that 8? Yes?
It becomes a 0.
It does. It becomes a 0. And we still keep the 5, 540. Now let's look at 429. What number am I going to underline? What number is in the tens place? Yes, Vicente.
Oh,
2. That's right. I'm looking at the 2. Which one am I going to circle? Which one am I going to look at to see if it's a strong or weak number? Caitlin? 9. And can you tell me, Caitlin, is that a strong number or is it a weak number? It's a strong number. So what happens? Okay. Great job. 430. And remember, we still have to find the sum of that. So now we're going to add 540 plus 430. What's 0 plus 0? Let me just hear it. 0. If you know what 4 plus 3 is, go ahead and shout it out.
7.
And if you know what 5 plus 4 is, go ahead and shout it out.
9.
So we're looking at our numbers being close to 970. Okay, so now we've done that. We know that it should be close to 970. Who would like to come up to the board and do number 4? Caroline, you want to come up? And I know it did the ones for you, but if you could explain, say yes, good job. Now, Caroline, is 967 close to 970? So do you think your answer is reasonable? I agree. High five. Good job. Thank you. All right, I'm going to have you guys go to page 484, and we're going to look at numbers 23 and 24. Okay. All right. Actually, it is about time for you guys to go back to your seats because we're going to work some problems and do some group work.
So no more math?
No, still math. Hold on, I'm going to get the slide up. Okay, so I want to explain real fast my slide. It'll be a lot easier if I erase. Okay, so group 1 is going to be in the back table, and we're going to work on pages 483, doing numbers 7, 8, and 9. And I would like Kinley and Sylvia and Jason. Josiah, sorry. Ooh, I did the wrong name for a second. Josiah. To go ahead and come back and meet me. Everybody else, your job is group 2. You're going to do your 9-2 quick check first. Then pages 483, I want you to circle 11, 15, and 17. Thank you. And then after that, you need to get your green light. If you've already gotten your green light, then you have exact half.
Raise your hand and I can help people. Caroline, I'll be right there, okay?
Okay, so I have a question. Would any of you try and do this?
Oh, quick check is on your iPad. And you go to Savvis. Go to Clever and Savvis. And your quick check will be group 2, your 9.2 quick checks. Put your iPad out, go to Clever, Status, and all. Let's see if it's there. Should be. Quick check first. Number 1, 9-2 quick check. Number 1, 9-2 quick check first. Quick check first. You guys shouldn't be in bookwork. You should be on iPads. Group 2. Oh no, are they group 1 or 2?
They're group 2.
Quick check first. Get your group 2. Get your iPads out.
But we're gonna do number 7.
Get your Clever out. Your group 2. Go to Sabbath. Tap number. 9-2 is at the bottom. Make sure you tap 9-2, the one at the bottom. Sure is 9-2. Sure, the right one.
Okay, so they'll create, so that's what we have to create. So there's, okay, so number 7, 136 plus 200.
Then if you want 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing a number on your lunch paper.
I'm doing number 7 together. In question 7 through 18, we need to estimate by rounding to the nearest 10. So the first thing we need to do is what? What do we need to do first? We need to estimate by rounding to the nearest 10. So 100 estimate. What is 136.
You'll need your whiteboards to do your work. You should be writing your answers and those equations on your whiteboard here you see.
We're rounding from the first round. What do you guys say? First round. 250. I'm gonna underline my 5. Okay. Okay, wait.
But you should do that estimate here. You guys have lots of
So we're looking at the 5.
Where it says estimate, you need to fill the box in.
Yeah, your pencil here. So that's
It has a box that says, you're not the right one. 9-2, not the one on the top. The one that matches.
Oh, correct.
Okay. Test.
So now we need. That's right. We start our ones. All we start with our ones. 0 plus 0 is 0.
Got the right
5 plus
answer.
4, like you said, is 9. And 2
This
plus
one?
1 is 3. So we're gonna
Yeah,
write 390 off to the side. Okay. Now we need to figure out
So I want you to write
the
it
second one. 136 plus 252.
down. Use your whiteboard, you gotta have your whiteboard out. We're not doing anything in our head.
Okay, so 6 plus 6
What did
is
directions say?
8.
Okay, round those figures 10 and add them. That's why you need your whiteboard out. And put that that total in the box. You have to write the problem. If it says put an estimate, if it says estimate, and in that estimate box, you write what the estimate is.
Good job. That's exactly what it is. I want you guys to do number 8 on your phone. So you're gonna put your rounding or you can
Now you
use
have
your
two
whiteboard.
jobs. Here you have to estimate what you're gonna round to. Put that over here, and that total's gonna go here. And then you're gonna add the actual numbers, and that number's gonna go here. Two answers are there. Nope, let's take a look, see what we get. Okay, because 50% isn't gonna be following what we're doing. You must have rounded to the nearest hundred, what we're supposed to round to. And add these up, they're not, that's not right. Let me see the problem over here, let's see if we get it right. Estimating to the nearest 10 is what we did here. And you should add those, and put that up here, and then you add the real numbers and put them there. So at 537 and 281. I don't see it. You know, those are the rounded numbers, that's what goes here, in this box. Then I want you to add the real numbers and put the answer there. This is your estimate, 540. That was this box. Put that in. Put that in this box up here. That's your estimate. Now raise your whiteboard. And write 537 and 281 and add those, not your estimate. That answer goes here. So write 537. Did you get the right answer this time? Yeah. Let's see what the next one is. Correct. So first you're gonna have those numbers. 140 plus 280, and that goes here. That's all right, good. See if we get it. Here, a little faster. You got too many. These are-
Keep going. Keep going. What?
Let's go back.
It has four. It has four questions.
Savis is confused. We've got so many Savis people. This is where we want Question 4 was the other.
All right, go ahead and do number 9 on your own.
All of those up together. Right.
Great job, guys.
The public library checked out 187 books on
arms, but you can't touch. This is correct. This one, we have all three of the numbers. Try to write this. What is it? If that's what that
All right, I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and get off your iPads, and I'm gonna go over homework with you guys.
Homework.
So I should see all eyes on here. I should see the iPads being put away. I want you guys to,
back table, read back of your seats.
yes.
Back your seats, people at the back table. Everyone open your math books up to page 485. Everybody. I know you have to finish it. You haven't finished your quick check, that's okay, we're gonna move on.
Okay, yep.
Casey, there's two pencils and a pen. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Stop, look, and listen.
Stop looking.
Go. The big new difference in today's learning, is everybody's eyes on me? Caroline, that's not important right now. That can wait, okay? Everybody's eyes on me. You guys are really good at adding. That was not the new part of this. The new part of this was estimating and checking to see if your answer was reasonable or close. And a lot of you on the quick check, it was confusing about what went in the box and what went underneath. But you have to read your directions carefully because some of you were on the right track, but you estimated to the nearest 100 instead of the nearest 10. So like Ms. Dennison said, you have to read those directions twice to make sure you're gonna follow that bit of instruction correctly. So when you're doing your math homework, the adding part's kind of easy for you guys. The estimating and checking, is my estimate close to what I got when I added? That's the new learning for today. So don't forget to read the directions twice and see, am I estimating to the nearest 10 or the nearest 100? And you have to do both. You have to add those rounded numbers for your estimate to get a sum, and you have to add the actual numbers and get a sum. And then you're looking at them to seeing if they're close to find out if they're reasonable. Nobody should be touching your iPads now. iPads away. You're not even gonna look at your, I walked around and while you were working. Miss Dennison's gonna tell you what to circle on, where should your, Casey, you're way far behind. Your math book should be open and out and open to this page. She's gonna tell you what to circle because different people are circling different things
Okay,
for homework.
so for homework, you should have pages 485. You're going to take that out of your math book. If you were back at the back table with me, I want you to circle questions 1, 2, 3, 6, and 11. If you were not at the back table, but at your seats, you're going to do questions 3, 4, 5, 10, and 11.
Circle those now, so when you get home, your grown-up will know which ones you are to do.
400.
I have some friends that are gonna say, can I do extra? Do you wanna be a rock star in math? Of course you can do extra.
Yes.
This is what we call the minimum, the smallest amount you are to do. So you're gonna need to circle those, put your number and name at the top of the page right now. And if you need help tearing the page out, raise your hand. No, you're in group 2. 3, 4, 5, 10, and 11. Then this gets a number, name, and date. And it goes in the return to school side of your yellow folder. There's your number, name, and date, and it goes in your folder on the return